Hello, my name is Donna Johnson, Director of Accountability for the Office of the State Superintendent of Education. Today, I'd like to walk you through a beta version of the DC School Report Card. The DC School Report Card will be launched on December 7th, 2018. We hope that you will visit the report card at www.dcschoolreportcard.org. Before then, we have a number of resources available for you on the OSSE website. You can access all of them at osse.dc.gov/DC School Report Card. As you explore the DC School Report Card website by typing in the URL of dcschoolreportcard.org, you will come to the landing page. On our website, you will have a variety of options of how you'd like to explore the DC School Report Card. You can type in a school name, you can click on View the Map, or you can access resources. There are resources designed for parents and families, as well as resources available for educators. Additionally, there's a link here where you can download data directly from the report card. You can learn more information about the DC report card by viewing the video that's linked here. And additionally, there is a DC report, which is a citywide report of all of the information in the report card. We'll review that a little bit later. Let's get started now by exploring what a school's report card would look like. By typing in the name of a school, you will be able to access that school's report card. When entering the report card site for a school, you will land on what's called the profile page. The profile page includes information about the school, general information such as address, location, phone number, and contact leader. You'll also see the school's star rating, a unique message from the school, detailed information about the parent organization, and a parent contact representative. This was added to the report card as a direct response to feedback that we received from parents and community members during the design phase of the report card. Schools that are adult schools will not have this section on the report card, since a parent organization and contact information is not applicable to those types of schools. You'll also see detailed enrollment and demographic information, and you'll be able to see a variety of school offerings, extracurricular activities, and logistics, such as before school and after school care, whether or not school uniforms are required, and the nearest Metro bus or Metro rail information. At the bottom of every page of the DC School Report Card website, you'll see this link for resources that we talked about from the landing page. You'll also see the opportunity to click to your local education agency report. This is available for all schools that are part of a multi-school LEA, and you'll be able to click on the DC report. For schools that are not part of a multiple school LEA, you'll simply be able to click on the DC report and see the citywide information. Let's explore more pages on a school's report card. By clicking on the Academic Performance section, you'll be able to see the domain areas that can be further explored for each school. This school is a school that serves pre-K to grade 8. The areas that you're able to explore include student achievement, student growth, and English language proficiency. There are 5 possible domains in the academic performance summary. The 2 that we don't see here would only be present for high schools. Those are the college and career readiness domains and graduation rate. We'll explore those when we look at a high school. By clicking on Student Achievement, you're able to explore information about the metrics and the performance of the school in that area. For student achievement, we're able to see PARCC 4+ and MSAA 3+, as well as PARCC 3+ and MSAA 3+. And you're also able to see the performance at each and every performance level on PARCC and MSAA, broken down by both English Language Arts and mathematics. You'll notice that in each one of these measures, there is a "what is this measure?" That's a tooltip information that you can click on and get a description of what the metric is, what it measures, and how it's calculated. Additionally, you'll see View Details. By viewing details, you'll be able to see more detailed information. Let's explore what that looks like now. Here I selected View Details under the PARCC 4+, MSAA 3+ for English Language Arts. Within this metric, I'm able to see performance by student group. This shows me every student group that is present at this school. That includes each race ethnicity that has a minimum population threshold of 10 or greater. And in the case of the PARCC metrics, it also tells us about participation rates. The race ethnicity groups are present, as well as a variety of student groups. While this school only shows us at-risk students and students with disabilities, if the population of the school were larger, we may have also seen performance for English learners, children in foster care, homeless students, and military-connected students. Let's explore more of the pages on the report card. Here we can explore academic growth. In looking at the academic growth, we're able to see two measures of growth: median growth percentile and growth to proficiency. You'll notice the "what is this measure" tooltip, as well as the View Detailed buttons, are there just like they were on the prior pages. By clicking View Details, you'll be able to see the same experience of seeing the performance of this metric for all of the student groups present. And the third container that we saw available under academic performance was English Language Proficiency. This is measured by our Access Growth metric. Again, you'll see the "what is this measure" that will tell you more about that metric, and the View Details. By clicking on View Details, you'd again get to see a page that broke down the performance of this metric by all of the student groups that were having value calculated for this metric. Now let's explore one of the other pages on the report card, the School Environment Summary. On the School Environment Summary, there are 5 domain areas. You'll see each one of them laid out very similar to what you saw on the Academic Performance Summary. The areas that we can explore in the School Environment Summary include attendance, early learning environment, student enrollment changes, school safety and discipline, and teacher and health staff. Exploring the attendance domain allows us to look at the performance of the school across 2 different chronic absenteeism metrics, the 90% attendance metric and attendance growth. You'll also see in-seat attendance, and if the school offers pre-K 3 or pre-K 4, you'll see pre-K in-seat attendance. Again, clicking View Details will allow you to see the student group performance for each one of these metrics. Looking at student enrollment changes, you'll see metrics including re-enrollment metrics and student mobility. By clicking on View Details under re-enrollment, you'll once again be able to see the student group performance on that metric. Under Early Childhood Learning, you'll be able to see the performance of the school as measured by the CLASS tool. This is organized into 3 domains: classroom organization, emotional support, and instructional support. Under School Safety and Discipline, this includes data that's been collected through the School Discipline Collection, as well as the Federal Civil Rights Data Collection. Viewing Details, or "what is this measure," will allow you to have the same access that you had on prior pages. On the suspensions rate, by clicking View Details, you'll be able to expand the information to see both in and out of school suspension, as well as student group performance. Let's take a look at that now. In clicking View Details under Suspension, you see the student group performance just as you would for every other metric, but you also see that information broken down for in-school and out-of-school suspensions. Moving on to look at the teacher and health staff information, you'll see the teacher experience, which is displayed for all schools based on the years of experience for the teacher. That is not the years that the teacher has been at the school, but rather their years of teaching experience. You'll see that it's presented as a percentage of the teaching population at that school, broken down by grade span or by years of experience spans of 0 to 1, 2 to 5, 6 to 10, and more than 10. And below that, you'll see the DC average. Teacher qualifications includes 2 metrics, in-field and certified teachers. This is displayed for all DCPS schools. Lastly, health staff shows a variety of health staffing roles. This is collected by the school health profile and represents the presence of a full or part-time staff in that role at that school. You'll see them noted with a check, or if it's not present, it will have an X. Now let's explore the STAR framework. The STAR framework stands for the School Transparency and Reporting Framework. On the STAR framework overall page, you will see a school's STAR rating as well as their score. Below that is a key indicating the range of score points for each one of the STAR ratings and a description of what the STAR rating is. I would encourage you to access the resources on our resource page for more detailed information about the STAR framework. Below the STAR rating and the score, you'll see student group scores for each of the student groups that are present at the school. And up here, you'll see 2 tabs. This is a school, remember, that serves pre-K 3 through grade 8. This school then has its performance measured by the elementary school framework as well as the middle school framework. By clicking on these tabs, you'll be able to explore the school's performance across just the elementary grades, and by clicking the middle school, looking at just grades 6 through 8. If this was a school who was only measured by a single grade span framework, all of the information that you would see on one of those tabs would be located here at the overall page. Let's take a look at the information that you can see from the STAR Framework Detail tab. In exploring the STAR Framework Detail tab for a school with multiple frameworks, you'll be able to see the information by metric scores as well as exploring by student group scores. If I explore by metric scores, I can see the all student group performance for each and every metric. In order to see more student groups, I would click on Display Details, and then I'd be able to see each and every student group within that metric. The same is true over here in the framework student group scores. You can see the student group score, and by clicking on Display Details, you'll be able to see all of the performance for that student group on each and every metric in the STAR framework. Let's click on those details now. Here, I clicked on Median Growth Percentile, Mathematics, and was able to look at the detailed performance of the student groups present for that metric on the elementary framework. Here, I'm able to see the all students performance, as well as the floor and the target for that metric. I can also see the performance for their at-risk students and their Black African American students. By clicking on the student group performance and clicking Display Details, I'm able to now see the at-risk performance, the at-risk student group performance of each and every metric, all in one page. Again, you'll notice that the floor and the target, as well as the school's performance for that student group, is shown within the green span. Now let's take a look at a high school. This is Model High School, serving grades 9 through 12. You'll notice that the profile page is designed much the same as what we saw as at Model Academy, which was a pre-K to 8 school. Some differences, as we talked about before, will show up in the academic performance summary. You'll notice now that college and career readiness is present, as is graduation rate. We'll also see some differences when we click on the details of those domains. Under college and career readiness, you'll be able to explore AP and IB, both participation and performance, and 2 SAT metrics, the College and Career Ready Benchmark metric, as well as the SAT DC percentile. Under graduation rate, there are 3 distinct rates that will be displayed on this page. You will see the 4-year graduation rate. You'll also see the 5-year graduation rate, even though it's not pictured in this example, and an extended year's graduation rate. That will represent the total number of students who graduated that year, no matter what cohort they were in or how many years it took them to graduate. And it will be divided by the number of students in that school's 4-year graduation cohort. For that reason, you'll see that the possible score is actually higher than 100 here. You'll see that in the range of scores possible. Now, looking at the STAR framework page for high schools, you'll notice this is a high school which only serves one grade span. So you don't see tabs for multiple frameworks. And as we talked about before, on the overall page, the STAR framework tab shows not only the STAR rating and the score on the overall page, but it also shows us the metric scores and the student group scores, much like we saw on the framework page of Model Academy. You'll be able to access the same information here by clicking on Display Details and see the student group performance in each and every detail. And on the student group side, you'll be able to explore that and expand it the same way that you did in the elementary framework of Model Academy. There's a third type of school that we'll look at, an alternative school. Alternative schools have a unique framework within the STAR framework and some different metrics that you'll see throughout the report card, which are tailored to truly represent the unique focus and goals of an alternative school. Again, the profile page is designed exactly the same as the other 2 schools that we've already reviewed. In looking at the student achievement page for our model alternative, you'll notice that there is a new metric at the bottom. It is called the weighted index. This is a metric that is unique to alternative schools, and you'll only see this metric on alternative school report cards. And in looking at the student enrollment changes page, you'll notice they do not have the re-enrollment metric. Instead, they have a re-engagement metric. This is a measure that captures the population of their enrolled students who have returned to school after previously having not been engaged in school the prior year. Again, this is a metric that you will only see on alternative school report cards. And on the STAR framework for the alternative schools, you'll see the STAR rating and the score and the breakdown of metrics, as well as student groups. You'll be able to explore them in the same way we did on the other STAR framework pages, but you'll notice that the metrics are unique to those metrics that are in the alternative framework. I would encourage you to access the resources on the OSSE or the dcschoolreportcard.org website to get additional information about the STAR framework details for elementary, middle, high school, and alternative schools. Now let's take a look at the rest of the report card website. When we first went to dcschoolreportcard.org, we mentioned two options to explore the site. The first we entered by typing in the name of a school. The second option was to access through the map of schools in DC. Let's explore that option now. In clicking View the Map, will take you to a map of DC, where you will see schools located across DC. In this case, we're only looking at 3 schools, but on dcschoolreportcard.org, starting December 7th, you'll see a large number of schools and multiple pages to filter through here at the bottom so that you'll be able to capture all of the schools within DC. There are a lot of different ways that you can explore this information. You can type in an address and it will zero in on that address and show you schools that are close by. You can select filters and you can sort the information. Let's explore those tools now. We mentioned being able to type in an address, but there's also an opportunity to enter filters. If you choose, entering filters is not a requirement to use the mapping tool. You can select multiple ages or grade levels, school types, which would include charter schools, DCPS, or alternative schools. You can select multiple wards if you'd like. You can also select star ratings. Additionally, you can identify preferences that you would like to see at schools. These include school programming information, such as schools that offer advanced placement programs or arts integration, or perhaps you're looking for schools with a STEM focus. You can check as many of those as you'd like. It will not eliminate any of the schools from the search, but it will simply allow you to see the schools that have the information and the programs that you're looking for. You can also select before school, after school care, or the presence of a parent organization. Now, I clicked on some of the filters. Let's look at the results. Looking at my results, I have the opportunity to sort my results of the schools. I can sort them by alphabetical order, the number of preferences met. I clicked on 13 different filters, and you'll notice that they're now organized in the preferences, in the order of the preferences met, showing the school that meets most of my preferences first, and each one after that. I could also sort by star rating or by distance if I typed in an address. One thing you may have noticed as we were clicking through the individual schools report card was an icon that said Add to Compare. That same icon is right here on the list. Let's take a look at the Compare feature now. We're able to identify 3 schools to compare at a time. By clicking on the Compare function, we are able to see 3 schools side by side. The categories that are displayed were selected based on the feedback that we received from families and community members during the design engagement phase for the report card. Additionally, you may have noticed in the upper right-hand corner, just up and to the right from Add to Compare, was a button that said Download School Report Card. Clicking on the Download School Report Card will give you access to a 1-page front and back summary of the school's report card. Let's take a look at that now. Here's an example of the downloadable school report PDF that you can access from that link. You'll see information on the front that's very similar to the information you saw from the profile page. And on the back page, you'll be able to see a summary of the information that you saw from the star rating page, the academic summary page, and academic performance tabs, as well as the school environment metrics. Now, let's take a look at what the DC report looks like. We mentioned that from the very beginning in the landing page, you can click on the District of Columbia, or the DC report. This is a report that will allow you to see citywide performance in enrollment, a summary of the star ratings from throughout the city, a list of any schools that have been identified for school improvement designations. You'll see citywide performance by metrics in academic performance, school environment, as well as STAR data. And you'll also be able to see some unique elements on the state report card that are only reported at the state level, including long-term goal progress. For multiple school LEAs, you'll also see a similar style of report for the LEA report that's accessible from the bottom of each of the school profiles as we looked at. Let's take a look deeper. Here's one unique component of the DC report under Teacher and Health Staff Information. As required by the Every Student Succeeds Act, under Teacher Experience, we are able to take a look at teacher experience broken down by high poverty and low poverty schools throughout DC. An additional item on the DC report that you will not find on other reports is a report of DC's NAEP performance. That's the National Assessment of Educational Progress. This is an assessment that's given across DC every 2 years in 4th grade and 8th grade. You'll be able to see the performance in reading and mathematics as well as in student group performance. You'll see historical trend data as well as the most recent NAEP assessment data. We also talked about the long-term goals. These were established in our federal Every Student Succeeds Act or ESSA plan, and you'll be able to look at the long-term goal performance. You'll be able to track our performance over the target that was set in our ESSA plan and our actual performance over time. This is established for achievement metrics, graduation metrics, as well as access growth for English language proficiency. There are a number of resources that we hope you will find useful in sharing the report card and the STAR framework with your parents, families, and community members. Please access them at dcschoolreportcard.org or go to the ossedc.gov website. You'll see information that will be useful for school leaders and educators on sharing the information with families. You'll see at a glance on both the DC School Report Card and STAR framework, as well as more detailed brochures on both of those. There are frequently asked question websites for both families and educators. There's the technical guide. There's also some additional information for school improvement supports. And if you haven't already done so, we hope that you take a look at the DC School Report Card overview video. It was also linked from the landing page of dcschoolreportcard.org. We're excited about launching this new tool, but we hope that you feel comfortable coming to us with questions that you have, and we hope that we can answer all of them. So please do not hesitate to contact us at dcschoolreportcard@dc.gov. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.